What's going on, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Elvis's Christmas album. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, I just want to thank you so much for checking us out. We do reviews of some of the most classic albums of all time, do some live streams, some album and artist and song rankings, and also do some live reactions. So if that sounds like something for you, please hit that big red subscribe button. Also, check out our links below for our Facebook group, where we just have a great community of music lovers that connect and discuss music, and also our Patreon page where you can support us for as little as $2 a month. All that to say, let's get into the quick facts of this awesome album. On the channel, we have already reviewed some Elvis stuff. We reviewed his first two albums, Elvis and Elvis Presley. This album is his third studio album. It was released in October of 1957. We skipped over it, but now that it's the holiday season, at least at the time of the recording of this, I thought I'd jump in here and give a quick review of this thing. I was really surprised to find out this album sold over 20 million copies and is not only the greatest Christmas selling album of all time, but one of the best selling albums of all time, period. There's 12 songs on this thing. The first side is 6 traditional Christmas songs, and then the second side has 2 Christmas carols to start it, and it has 4 songs that were also on an Elvis EP that are more gospel-tinged songs. So that's how they divided this thing. Most of the songs on this were traditional Christmas fare, but there are 2 new songs supplied by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. That's a writer-producer team that wrote Hound Dog and Jailhouse Rock. One was Santa, Bring My Baby Back to Me, and the other, selected by Elvis to open the album, was a blues-based rock and roll number. Santa Claus is Back in Town, so let's jump into that right now. He was the first one to record it. Has an awesome vocal performance by Elvis, nice piano, great up-tempo. He is telling her he is coming back to town, but he's not coming in a sleigh, he's coming in a Cadillac, and you can just tell right away there's great backing vocals on this. This is through and through Elvis, a wonderful pick to start this. Next up is White Christmas, the Irving Berlin classic. Bing Crosby's version has sold over 50 million copies worldwide, making it the greatest selling single of all time. When you add all the release versions of it together, it's supposed to have sold close to 100 million. I think Elvis does a wonderful job on this of making it his own, kind of delivers his own vocal style here. You know it's him, but I think he does the song justice. However, you know who didn't think he did the song justice? Irving Berlin, the guy who wrote it. When he heard this version, he had his people call all the major radio stations in the US and Canada and asked them not only to ban this song, but to ban the entire album. He called it blasphemy of his classic. He thought it was a parody. I don't agree with that at all. Interestingly enough, the US radio stations didn't agree either. They ignored his request. However, the song was barely played in Canada at all, as those radio stations respected his wishes. But for me, it's a wonderful track. That brings us to Here Comes Santa Claus, written and performed by Gene Autry first. One of the things I didn't realize on this is the religious overtones of this song. I always look at the lyrics and study them, and you kind of know these Christmas songs, sort of. You sing along to them, but you never really think about the lyrics. So when you see them written out, you're like, wow. So this song has Jesus all over it. So I was really surprised by that. I think there's fantastic backing vocals on this, which you're going to get a lot throughout this album, but Elvis does a good job on this. It's up-tempo, it's fun. That'll bring us to the 4th track, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Straightforward on the delivery of this. Once again, Elvis's vocal is spot on. When you look at the lyrics, there's only 8 lines of this song, so it doesn't last long. That's why it's a slower tempoed song, but he did great on this one. And that's gonna bring us to Blue Christmas. Elvis's version is the most famous and well-known, featuring the Jordanaires and Millie Kirkman on background vocals, which are absolutely fantastic. One of the stories about this song that I found interesting is Elvis didn't want to record it. So he told the backing vocalist, just do something silly. And he was messing around when he was singing this, kind of changing his vocal tone. And finally the producer got on him and told him, just sing this thing straight up. And it's become just a gigantic hit. It's his most downloaded song on Spotify with 155 million at the time that I'm recording this. One of the things that's interesting, obviously we had White Christmas back on track number 2. Well, the Blue Christmas is because he's down. His girl has left him. It's not going to be a Merry Christmas for Elvis. It's going to be a Blue Christmas. But a pretty good performance on this one. And that brings us to Santa, Bring My Baby Back to Me. It was issued as a single in the UK. It went to number 7. Good backing vocals on this. Very good performance. Basically, he wants Santa to bring his girl back to him, right? He doesn't want any presents or any of that. His girl's gone. Santa, please bring her back. We're going to start the B-side off with "O Little Town of Bethlehem." This was arranged by Elvis. It only has 8 lines. A very good performance here by Elvis. Nice backing vocals, straightforward delivery. The next song is the classic "Silent Night." Elvis also chose to arrange this song himself. He sounds phenomenal here. The mixing on it is so crystal clear. I could listen to this thing on repeat. Just a Christmas classic with one of the most classic vocalists of all time. Well, now we're going to come to the final 4 songs on the album. These are the ones that are on the Peace in the Valley EP that is gospel-centered. The first track, "There Will Be Peace in the Valley for Me," it had achieved enormous acclaim when it was on Elvis's 3rd and final performance on The Ed Sullivan Show. It said 52 million people watched this, and Elvis made a plea for the country of Hungary. The Soviet Union had just invaded it 2 different times, a week apart, and Elvis had asked for donations to be sent in to help the people of Hungary who had had to flee. And that appeal contributed to $6 million in donations, which was equivalent to $50 million in today's dollars. He's just asking for peace when he dies and go to heaven. His vocals are in a different register here, and some of you are going to notice on these last 4 songs that really stick out. It is from that separate EP. The mixing is much better. His voice is much clearer, and boy, it is just classic Elvis. That's going to bring us to the 10th track, "I Believe." He believes in God and that every dark thing has a good purpose. It has strong vocals. You can just feel his passion. I believe him. And this song, those of you that watch this channel regularly know, I'm a strong Christian. I identify with these songs. The message on this is phenomenal, that you are going to have dark times if you're a Christian, but it doesn't matter because you believe that God is going to take you through them. So that was a wonderful message for Elvis to bring, and a message of truth. That'll bring us to "Take My Hand, Precious Lord." He wants the Lord to lead him home. It's not a bad track at all. It's very dated sounding. I don't mean that in a bad way, right? This is just a classic thing that you would expect to be played at your grandparents' funeral. And once again, I mean that with all respect. Some gospel songs and some traditional songs should sound like this. He still sounds fantastic. That's going to take us to our last track. "It Is No Secret," in parentheses, "What God Can Do." Don't worry, because God is always by your side, even if you've done bad things. And once again, a wonderful message. Theologically, Elvis was bringing it way back in the mid-50s. A fantastic message. He sounds great. And that is going to bring me to my favorite tracks. Kind of difficult to do on a traditional Christmas album. I thought "Blue Christmas" was a tremendous rendition. I also like "Santa Claus Is Back in Town," the opener. Just what a fantastic way to rock the album out. Then "There'll Be Peace in the Valley for Me" was my other favorite on there, the first track from the EP. So now I come to my overall grade. Once again, it's a little tough to grade a Christmas album, right? I don't usually spend Christmas albums, nothing against it. It's just you go into enough stores where you hear the carols and all the stuff, and I don't really want to hear it outside of that, because when you get to my age, you've heard it so much that it's great for a limited amount of time. So with that said, I'm not going to put this album on and spin it all the time, but what I am going to do is every Christmas I am going to play it. I played it this year when my family was decorating our Christmas tree, and it was something different, and I really enjoyed it. So for that, for a Christmas album, I mean, Elvis is the king, right? I'm going to give this an 8.75. And if you enjoyed this review and want to hear more like them, please hit that big red subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you.